now that Marcus is not for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I have.
Can you tell us what that?
I just see you tomorrow. Can't let anything out. You know, it's obviously minutes will go up. How much, who knows? But obviously we've got to fill the void of DeMarcus. It's not just myself. It's Looney, Andre at times, possibly Jordan Bell, Jerebko. So all of us have to stay ready. But I anticipate minutes going up a little bit.
Are you going to monitor your minutes in the sense of being really careful about how you feel, and then
No.
you're going to go at it?
Well, it's the playoffs. So I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. I feel like I came over in pretty good shape. I just came out of a season in Australia, so it wasn't like I was sitting on my couch the last 6 months. So whether it's 30 or 15, whatever it is, I'll go out there and play as hard as I can. And obviously, ultimately, it'll be up to rotations and how I'm playing and how Steve feels about the current lineup. A little bit. Look, thankfully, when I came over here, I was thrown into the fire straight away and started the first game. So, you know, I'm kind of ready for it. It's a very similar role probably to when I was here last time. We're probably, you know, maybe start the first two halves and provide some rim presence, and then we go to our better lineup, small ball and whatnot. But I'm ready, like I said, to play 15, 20, 5 minutes, whatever it is, whatever the team needs. You know, I'll go out there and give my best.
Obviously, when
amazing to finish together. Is that like riding a bike?
Yeah, it is. I think we've played well together this season. We haven't played a whole lot together because the regular season, you know, we're resting guys a lot and those kind of mismatched lineups. But him and myself have a great relationship where you don't even really have to say anything. It's just kind of read and react type stuff. And he's got a high basketball IQ, and I like to think I do as well. So it comes natural, and hopefully we can shore that up and start the game off well defensively.
obviously when you come into a situation like you came into, they don't tell you, hey, if he gets hurt, you're up. What were you told about the reason they were bringing you in, and was it for something? Maybe not this exactly, but when DeMarcus.
Well, you just never know. I mean, I knew I was coming in as an insurance policy to an extent. A guy that could fit in straight away, that knows the system both offensively and defensively, knows the guys. So it was a matter of coming in, and if I didn't happen to play any minutes, not causing any ripples in the locker room and all that. So I understood that completely, and knowing that if something drastic did happen, not just injuries, someone gets in foul trouble, someone gets ejected, you never know what happens. And unfortunately, this time it's an injury. It's got to be ready to go. I definitely didn't anticipate starting in the playoffs. But unfortunately, you get a freak injury to Marcus, and the circumstances we're in.
How much do you see a guy that obviously is going through what he's going through with an Achilles to come back and then have an injury like that?
I've been through very similar things to DeMarcus, and it's an absolute nightmare. He would have been in some dark days the last 12 months just with the Achilles, and I'm sure he felt like the light was at the end of the tunnel. He's feeling good. He's playing basketball again. He's in his first playoff series of his career, potentially going to deep into the playoffs, and then this happens. And there's nothing anyone can really tell you. There's nothing anyone can really do. It's just a matter of, for DeMarcus' sake, is the way I approached it was finding out what the timeline was and trying to beat the timeline. That's all you can really focus on. So if they're giving him whatever timeline it is, X, try to beat it by a week or two or a month or whatever it is, and that's all you can really focus on. Once you start dwelling too much on what could have been, or you feel sorry for yourself, which I don't think DeMarcus will. He's a pretty tough guy. You can have some pretty dark days.
How much of the Warriors season did you see when you were in Australia?
Yeah, I followed the league very closely. The good thing about Australia with the time difference was I'd get home from practice after we trained in the morning, and I'd get home about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, get some lunch and throw on league pass. So 2:30 p.m. Australian time was 7:30 here in the Bay, so I'd usually fall into a lot of games, yeah.
Did you see any differences from the years that you were here to what they were doing this year?
Well, yeah, we're one of the best players in the world that joined the team after we had a lot of success. So,
You noticed the difference with Kevin?
Of course, yeah, one of the most gifted basketball players you'll ever be around. So obviously there's times when our offense bogs down, and we have the luxury of going to a guy that can get his shot off against anybody. But you also see, it has been a grind. It's going for a three-peat. A lot of these guys have been this will be the fifth year of going hopefully deep into a playoffs. It takes its toll, so we just got to make sure we try to stay as fresh mentally as we can.
Draymond was talking about, kind of finding the balance with the Marcus and showing him encouragement, but also giving him some space to deal with it. Do you say anything to him in this kind of situation and tell him anything how you handle these kind of freaks?
Not right now. I think his phone will be blowing up off the hook. He'd have a lot of different thoughts going through his head. He's obviously a free agent as well. You know, maybe you reach out in a couple of weeks. You know, obviously after the game, we all felt horrible for him when I told him that. But I've been on that bed before as well and had people, and it doesn't really, you know, you appreciate it, but you're kind of just, you're blank. So I think once he can commence his rehab and get back on his feet, I think he'll be in a bit of a clearer mind. But like I said, he's a tough-minded guy. I think he'll get through it like anything else.
How do you think everybody comes back mood-wise out there?
Well, there's only one way we can bounce back, and that's be aggressive from the get-go. I think, you know, as bad as the last game was, there were some good signs. We're up 31 points. So we did do some good things. I think that's got lost in translation because of the injury and because of the way we lost the game. But we did a lot of good things for 2.5 quarters, and they stole the game with a good quarter of basketball. So we obviously need to contain that pick and roll with Harrell and Lou. You know, Doc does a good job of changing things around, putting different guys in it, giving us different looks, but ultimately it ends up being Lou and Harrell that are putting a lot of pressure on our defense. So we made a few adjustments today at training, and hopefully, you know, come to light of the game.
What do you make of the Clippers' defensive approach on Kevin? Do you notice anything in particular that they're doing?
Well, they're top blocking a lot of stuff. Not just Kevin, but Kevin, Clay, Steph. They're basically at times have their backs to half court. The defender does. So meaning that they're not between Steph and the basket or Clay and the basket. They're actually not letting them run to the three-point line, which is kind of interesting. They usually have the big guy off myself or Draymond or DeMarcus just can through the paint. So we have a few counters for that, but it's something we really haven't seen. You see it maybe on one player out of the 5. Someone gets hot on top block, but we haven't really seen that. They're doing it to 3 players essentially. So we just got to make sure, you know, we're moving without the ball, punish them and get a couple of cheap, easy baskets and get them out of that. But Doc's done a good job of junking things up and giving us some looks that we haven't really seen, you know, since I've been here at least.
Sorry if you've already been asked this, but just how kind of surreal is it given that you signed up coming here thinking you might be on the bench for a lot of this playoff run, and here you are stepping into starting run?
I won't call it surreal. It's obviously disappointing first and foremost because of the market situation. It's not something I had in mind by saying, oh, you know, I hope someone goes down hurt. And I came in the mindset of just being ready to play and being that 12th, 13th man, and knowing that some nights I'm not going to play and some nights I am. But that's the reality of professional sports. You just never know. You know, you guys hear it from us all the time, that next man up mentality cliche that you probably hear whenever you ask about a role player, but it rings true because, you know, coaches always harp on the guys on the bench. Make sure you guys stay ready, and if you don't play, get your conditioning in, and make sure you're still looking after your body off the court because you never know what's going to happen. And a lot of guys probably are like, yeah, right, yeah, whatever, like I'm not going to play. But this is a prime example of not just me. I mean, Jordan Bell's probably going to find some minutes. Jerebko, you know, Looney's minutes are probably going to go up. So you just got to stay ready in professional sports, and I feel like I'm ready, and I feel like most of the guys are.
At any level of basketball, even when we played rec basketball, there was always that guy in the gym that wanted to annoy you, just give you a hard time. You got the master here with Beverley. What's the best approach to take with him?
I'm just not buying into his antics. It does get hard and frustrating, you know. He gets away with a lot out there, but you give him credit.
The stumble on the free throw, Kevin shot.
Twice, 2 times in a row on the same free throw. We told the referees about it, and they said it was legal. So that's all we can go by. He does it every free throw. By the law, it's illegal. You're not supposed to have your body length over the line until the ball leaves your hands. But that's something for the league to figure out with them. But give him credit, man. Like, he's not the most skilled guy in the world. He's not the best shooter in the world, but the dude's grinded out an NBA career. He started out in Europe. I can't hate on him too much. You know, he's fighting for his livelihood, and that's the way he plays. And he knows his effect on the game. A lot of times is more mental than physical. He's always trying to get into KD's head and Clay's head and Steph's head, holding, grabbing, flopping, whatever he does. I can't hate on it because that's his role, and he's doing a tremendous job for that team. They seem to respond well when he does those kind of things, and they made their run with him off the court too. So That's another thing we're going to look at. Maybe Doc can start him on the bench for us.
It did seem when he stole the ball from Steph at half court, they referenced that. Kind of the energy thing of, there he goes again. There goes Beverley again.
Yeah, and he doesn't, it's quite obvious that he wasn't playing looking at the scoreboard. You would have known that they were down 31 with the way he plays. So, like I said, I give him a lot of credit. We just can't let him affect the series, have the kind of effect that he's had the first couple of games. Just got to go down there and play basketball, punish him, and let him do all those antics, and hopefully, we get out of here with a playoff series win.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.